H1B Guy here, and today, the H1B Guy news for the week ending December 11th, 2020. But before we get started, I'd like to ask you, if you haven't already, to subscribe to the H1B Guy channel here on YouTube. It helps me to produce more content like this for you. I also wanted to mention the H1B Guy offers a variety of consulting services. If I can provide you peace of mind by helping you bridge the gap between your employer and your immigration attorney, please reach out. I'd love to hear how I can help you. Today's news is brought to you by RecruiterNetworks.com, the smart solution for digital perm ads since 2001. This past Wednesday, I had the privilege to host Richard Allman, owner of RecruiterNetworks.com, on the H1B Guy Presents Live. Please check out that interview on YouTube and hear why Richard thinks we are beginning to see a thawing out period as it relates to employment-based immigration and more. Now, the news. Today, I celebrate my 100th post on YouTube. I had no idea I would come this far since that first post back on June 29th, 2020. Cheers to all of you. We've got a long way to go, but let's keep shedding light on the issues in employment-based immigration. In celebration of my 100th post here on YouTube, I decided it was time to write a new bio. Thanks to my good friend Christine for the edits. Robert has established himself as a thought leader on immigration. He has implemented multiple programs surrounding work authorization, third-party process, and international recruitment strategies during his 15-year career in the private sector. Launching the H1B Guy in June 2020, Robert consults with employers and employees to help maintain compliance and implement automated processes surrounding employment-based preferences. He posts weekly content to his blog and his YouTube channel where he covers news, education, advice, and reform discussions on the H-1B visa and other benefits. You can find my new bio on the h1bguy.com. And now, the rest of the news. Our articles this week are from sources I typically do not cover, but I thought both of these articles provided some great insight. December 4th, 2020, in an article written by Swathi Murthy for Money Control titled, "How Much Can Indians Gain from the Recently Passed S386 Bill?" Quote, "The passing of S386 bill by the U.S. Senate on December 2nd that eliminates the country cap for employment-based green cards should have Indians on cloud nine. While some of them rejoiced, the recent update saw many of them guarded. They had a reason to be so. While the bill has got unanimous consent in the Senate, the uncertainty surrounding the bill, which requires both houses to come to a compromise, is keeping the celebrations muted. At the Senate, it was amended with provisions of S386, and newer provisions were added and passed on December 2nd, 2020. However, the marked difference between the two versions is likely to challenge the passage of the bill in the House. House Rep. Lofgren has already indicated that the version is not to her satisfaction. A major change is to ensure that H-1B visas are not abused by companies. The new rule includes a 50-50 clause. The new rule applies not only to new H-1B applicants, but also to extensions and transfers that would need the company to initiate a new labor condition application, LCA, one of the steps needed to get H-1B visas. Though larger IT services firms should be able to work around this localization and offshoring strategy, the new rule, if passed, would make it tough to get more H-1B workers in the U.S. This is going to be a challenge to Indian H-1B workers and IT services firms, especially the small ones, which might have to restructure their workforce to comply with the new rule. One of the key challenges could also be the China clause the Senate had introduced. It reads prohibition on admission or adjustment of status of aliens affiliated with the military forces of the People's Republic of China or the Chinese Communist Party, the amended bill reads. Both the houses have a hard timeline of January 3rd, the last day the current government can take any action. If the process starts again, it could take months, if not years. But it is impossible to say how long it would take at this point. The current bill has taken more than a year to be passed in the Senate. When implemented, those who have the oldest priority dates will get their green cards first. However, the massive backlog would still take years to clear. The only difference is that the per country cap removed, it would take the same time for everyone, irrespective of the country of birth, to get their green card. So, this article was first published last Friday, but it has been continually updated even as of today. I like this article because it tells the truth. I allowed myself to celebrate last Wednesday and Thursday, but here I am again in doubt and uncertainty. We discussed ad nauseum what needs to happen next in order for S386 HR 1044 to become a law. As to be expected, we've had to clarify a few things from our post on Tuesday. Here's what we know. The House has extended their budget until December 18th, but could extend again until December 31st. There are murmurs that some pieces of H.R. 1044 are being discussed as inclusion to the omnibus bill. Will it be the entire bill is a question that has to be asked and answered. This is a dangerous proposition for the success of both H.R. 1044 and the omnibus. Still, there's a possibility that H.R. 1044 could pass conference committee and be called to the House floor that would include Senate 386 amendments. Next week is going to determine a lot. In fact, things are so fluid that at the time of this writing, changes could already be happening. There's no doubt that those mired in the green card backlog have the most to win, but also the most to lose. Time is not in favor, and January 3rd is just weeks away. December 10th, 2020. In an article written by PTI for the Economic Times titled U.S. Settles Claim Against IT Company for Discrimination Against American Workers for H-1B Visa Holders. The U.S. Department of Justice has announced that it has signed a settlement agreement with an IT staffing company based in Texas for routinely discriminating against domestic workers in favor of temporary work visas, including the H-1B. Continuing on in the article, quoting, the Justice Department of Tuesday alleges that Icon Systems routinely discriminated against U.S. workers by posting job advertisements specifying a preference for applicants with temporary work visas, and that the company failed to consider at least one U.S. citizen applicant who applied to a discriminatory advertisement. The Department of Justice said that this is the 11th settlement by the Civil Rights Division under its 2017 Protecting U.S. Workers initiative, which is aimed at targeting, investigating, and taking enforcement action against companies that discriminate against U.S. workers in favor of temporary visa or temporary visa workers. Investigations against ICON began after a U.S. citizen filed a discrimination complaint with the Civil Rights Division. Based on the investigation, the department concluded that from May 8th, 2019 to September 21st, 2019, ICON posted at least 8 facially discriminatory job advertisements targeting non-U.S. citizens with immigration statuses associated with employment-based visas. End quote. I think the message of this channel has been very clear when it comes to this type of fraud. There is no place for this kind of activity, and it should not be tolerated. These actions are what give the entire H-1B population a bad rap, and that shouldn't be the case. As you've heard me say over and over, there is a skills gap and a shortage of human capital. I've personally witnessed this happening for years. As long as we have the current system in place, we will continue to see this type of abuse. The hope is that HR 1044 and S386 is made law and the whistleblowers will be given a voice. As I said on Twitter the other day, it is vital for temporary foreign workers, H-1B or otherwise, to be at liberty to speak out against malpractice and fraud. Breaking the cycle of fear is a huge step in eliminating the aforementioned. S386, HR 1044 brings laws to fruition like the whistleblower and 50/50 rule, which help curb abuse and fraud, such as what has been proven here with this case. I'll continue to closely monitor the situation as over 1 million lives are anxiously awaiting an answer. For the full post on the H1B Guy news for the week ending December 11th, 2012, please check out the h1bguy.com. A reminder that today's news is brought to you by RecruiterNetworks.com, the smart solution for digital perm ads since 2001. This national job board network provides recruitment websites in 1,024 major U.S. metro areas. Each local job board is its own portal and is a low cost resource for immigration recruitment ads for all industries and professions with a flat price of $225 per ad, regardless of which city you choose. RecruiterNetworks.com has been the number one place for immigration attorneys, immigration ad agencies, and employers to meet the DOL requirements for the digital portion of the perm advertisement rules. RecruiterNetworks.com. Tell them the H1B guy sent you. If you haven't already, I'd like to ask you to please like this video, please subscribe to the H1B Guy channel here on YouTube, and click the bell for notifications so that you're notified anytime we post a new video here to this channel. If you've made it this far, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to watch my content. I really appreciate your support. The H1B Guy, your global source for all things H1B.